Okay, welcome back to Simple Web, where we're continuing our series on taking a flat HTML template and converting it to a WordPress theme. In our last video, we had set up our default page.php. But what about for our contact page, where we want to add in the content down here? So let's go and create a custom template. So let's duplicate this, our page.php, and call that template contact. So this is in the root folder of our theme, and above that we want to add in a PHP comment that tells WordPress it's a template by saying template name contact. We can call that whatever we want, but I like to keep them a single word, so if it was about, it would be about. So whatever you want, but this is a template. So now if we go into our edit this page, we can now go in and assign our contact. But what we want to do is in our ACF field groups, we want to add a new field group called contact. Scroll down the bottom and go to page template is contact. And then we want to hide the contact editor. The content editor. So in here we want, if we look at our live demo, we've got a pre-header, header, content, and a form. So let's just quickly whip this out. We don't need to prefix any of this. So we can go pre-heading. And this will have a default value of contact us, like we've done in the past. Now the next one will be heading. Now we're going to leave this as a default value as blank, but we will put a default value of the page title. So we'll do that, and then we want a WYSIWYG. So WYSIWYG, WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. We'll call that the content. And in this, we're not going to want to be able to insert images. We just want content, headings, bodies, paragraphs, that's links, whatever you want. So we want to do that, and then we need the form, of course. So we want a post object like we've done in the past with the form, and we want form. We want to get the contact forms that are published and return the post object. So that should be all we need to do. So now if we refresh here, boom, contact. So I've already done this once, so you can see I've already got content in there. I forgot to change over the view, so the whole time it was just looking at the Simply Web logo. So I've had to re-record this multiple times. Anyway, so the template is contact. We've got a content in there. We've got a blank heading page and contact form. So let's go back over to our content here, and let's go. So we want pre-heading equals get field pre-heading and set a default of contact us. Heading equals get field heading. Let's return that as empty. And then form equals get field form, and that's an array. No, it's not, it's an object. So we'll do that the same one. So there we go. So now we don't need this anymore. That's from the default page. We want to go to our contact templates in our HTML, and we want all of this. So let's paste that in there. Oops, no, I want all of this. Everything in this contact start. Cool. Format document with IntelliSense. And now if we refresh this heading, oh, I've set that as a variable, whereas that should be a string. Cool. Undefined variable form, same as the form. I did that twice. Let's do that. Here we go. So let's duplicate this one, duplicate this one. So we go PHP if pre-heading equals empty. Let's output this one. Else, so if there is no heading set, else let's do this one. Same as we've done multiple times before. So if it doesn't have it, we're going to oops, that needs to be a space. Otherwise, we're going to output the pre-heading here. There we go. So if it's empty, make it default. Else, give us that. Same as this one, we're going to get rid of these H1 and make them H2s. H1 and H2. Duplicate that one down and get rid of this other H1. Cool. So this one will be if heading equals empty. We want the title here. So we'll go get the title. Else, I'll go really quick because we've done this so many times now. It should be starting to become second nature to you all by seeing me do this multiple times. Heading, close that else, but I will recap for you. So don't sweat. Okay, so if pre-heading is empty, then we're going to output it, hard code it. So it always says contact us as a minimum, or it's overridden. If heading is empty, we're going to output get the title, so the page title. Otherwise, we're going to output the get the heading. So if we refresh this now, we can see contact us is there by default and contact is here. So we can go and set that contact for any query, update that and refresh, and now that updates. The next thing we want to do is get the content. I'm going to put that above the form because that's just where it turns up in the... I like to keep things in the same order as they are in the ACF field. So we want to get the content. And in the content, which is just here, PHP, we're not going to have anything by default, so we just go if content does not equal empty, then we want to output the content. However, we don't want it to be in a paragraph because it's outputting as paragraphs because we're using the WYSIWYG editor. So this will output in a paragraph already. So we don't want a paragraph nested within the paragraph. So I'm going to change this to a div and a div. And we don't necessarily want it center aligned because that will be, if we want it center aligned, we could do that like I've done it in here. We could just update it through here. And then close our if. So if we have content, output the content. So now if we refresh, we shouldn't see any changes. Cool. And now we want to output our input, our form. So let's get rid of our form here because we don't need it. And we want to, if we go to our footer, we can see, where is it? Actually, we'll go to our home page, our form. There it is. We did that, echo do short form. So, oops, we can get rid of that. So we'll go PHP if form does not equal empty, do the shortcut code for the form. And we don't need to put that into a closing PHP because we're already working in our PHP, so we can get rid of that one as well. So if we refresh, there's our form. Cool bananas. All right, that finishes off our contact template. You can see the colors buttons different because that's how we set it up in the actual form itself. We gave it a secondary, so we could go in and go, if we go to forms, this one was in there by default, so let's just go in and delete that one. Let's go and duplicate this contact form, contact page, and instead of secondary, we'll make that primary. If I could type. Primary. Save. Now if we go back to editing this page, refresh it, in the form, we could change this to contact page form. It's exactly the same form, we've just changed the button to purple. So if that floats your boat, they can do that now. All right, next thing we want to do is, actually that's it. That finishes off the contact page template. So let's have a look what we've got left to do. So we have the 404 page, and we want to do a team page. So let's do our team members next. So I'll see you in the next video. Once again, it'll be super quick.